Deep in the long valley lies the wealth of the forest. In the hills, wealth lies untapped below the rocks.
Hey, go!
The wilderness gives way before the plough, yielding wealth from the soil. There's wealth in water. Power that means wealth from the factories. Yet the tree would rot in the forest. The minerals lie untapped. The harvest return to the earth, and the powerhouses remain unbuilt if it were not for the wealth of the roads. Roads are the vital links, the lines of communication, the pathways to prosperity.
Roads. Why can't they give us farmers some decent roads? They tell us we're the backbone of the country. Well, I'll tell you, I won't have any backbone left if I have to drive over this lot out here much longer. It's bad enough now. You should see it in winter.
The roads in our suburb are a positive disgrace. I don't see why we should pay taxes and put up with the conditions that we do. And I certainly don't see why our money should go on country roads miles away from anywhere. This is where most people live, isn't it? And this is where they should spend the most money.
Now, don't you forget something, lady. That 5-mile stretch of bullock track out there is costing me money in broken springs, in hold-ups and greater depreciation. And that means my cost of production are up, and that means you pay more for my produce.
Well, anyway, they don't seem to break down too often. My heart's in my mouth every time I see those horrible big trucks tearing down the highway up there, and knowing that the children have to cross it to and from school every day. If they're going to do something, let them put in more stoplights and make the roads safe for the children.
Stoplights? That's just what we don't want. I live only 15 miles from this office. Do you know how long it takes me to get here in the morning? An hour. 15 miles an hour. Pretty soon, with the increase in traffic, it will be 10 miles an hour. Then 5. Congestion in your city inlets and outlets. There's your real problem. Stoplights. We want big multi-lane inlets with plenty of overhead and underground pedestrian crossings. Keep your kiddies safe and keep your traffic moving.
But surely your main arterial highways come first. I'm a commercial traveller and I cover the whole state all the time. I admit some of the roads aren't too bad in parts, but the rest. I'm forced to take chances I don't want to take, because if I don't, I can end up behind some ruddy great truck for mile after mile on those hills and windy roads. And to me, time means money. Now what I say is, why aren't they building bigger and better highways to cope with the extra traffic that's coming on the road? Especially with interstate ferry traffic starting up. Look, if I were running this, I'd take
£750,000 per year. That's what they're spending on road maintenance alone. And an overall £3 million per year total expenditure on roads. Where does it all go to?
Yes, it's a lot of money. But modern highways cost a lot of money to design, to build, and to maintain. And we're not talking about multi-lane, concrete superhighways, but good, smooth bitumen roads, built to modern standards of performance and safety. Now let's see what's involved in getting them. Making a road today is a complex operation. An aerial survey of the proposed route is an essential part of modern technique. From the aerial survey photographs, the contours are plotted on automatic stereo plotting machines. Engineers in the design section study the aerial survey plans to select the most suitable route. Ground parties then carry out detailed surveys along the adopted line. From the detailed survey plot, engineers prepare complete designs of the new proposal. All design features are then carefully checked before being submitted for final approval. Meanwhile, soil testers are at work to discover the kind of foundation the road will be built on. Other experts are examining whether local materials can be used for the job, determining soil properties, the moisture content, the proportion of sand in the clay, whether the foundation will be strong enough to withstand the pressure it must bear. triaxial tests, Atterberg tests, and a dozen others, each with its own calculations and graphs, and each one an essential preliminary step. And since roads often cross rivers, the necessary bridges are being planned. For a bridge is no more than a particularly expensive section of road. Besides bridges, the new road will need culverts to take care of drainage, and perhaps overhead pedestrian crossings, guideposts by the hundreds, and signposts by the score. All these items must first be costed, material and labor expenses calculated. The approved pencil plans must go to the tracers to be prepared for printing. Heavy earth-moving equipment, rollers, bulldozers, shovels, bitumen spreaders and trucks, these must be allotted to the job and made ready. The funds must be made available, and all this before the first yard of earth is shifted. So you see, making a new road is a complex business, and an expensive one. Costs run into thousands of pounds per mile. But new construction is only part of the story. Many of our roads today were laid out years ago, and the system used for grades, width, sight distances, and so on, just doesn't measure up to today's traffic needs. Getting these older roads into shape and sealing them at the rate of 80 to 100 miles a year, these are the tasks facing the department today. There's so much to be done. Farm-to-market roads, or rather market-to-farm roads, working outward from the cities. Urban roads with safe pedestrian crossings. Trunk routes into the cities. And getting the main city-to-city highways into shape for the big traffic to come. Roads to new areas must be built and maintained if we're to have new industries, or new power stations to attract the industries. Roads to attract tourists to the state. So much to do and relatively so little to do it with. The State Road Authority knows what's needed, but it also realizes the need for a logical plan of development, aiming at a properly balanced highway system built up stage by stage. This involves a priority system, beginning with the roads of greatest tactical importance, and then in descending order of importance, filling in the gaps. This plan will ensure a highway backbone on which people and goods can move smoothly and quickly between important centers. In order to get a picture of the road system we should aim at having in 10 years' time, the State Road Authority has made a survey of road needs. By this means, the intermediate program of development and betterment can proceed by stages, the immediate job being the smoothing out of the worst bits first, so that the whole system develops evenly to a pre-selected standard. In the course of the program, slushy, spring-breaking country roads will be replaced by roads like these. Harassed mothers will know that their children can cross roads in safety. The nerve-jangling crawl to work will give way to an ordered and efficient flow of traffic. Bottleneck bridges, often a source of danger and obstruction, will become highways over rivers. Each road constructed according to the traffic it must carry.
Well, I must admit I didn't realize there was so much involved.
I think I can speak for us all. So long as we know that a logical approach is being made to the problem, well, I am satisfied with what's being done.
Me too. After all, when you consider the nature of the country and the resources they've got at their disposal, we're not too badly off. I'm happy as long as they're giving some thought to the future.
Yes, with the resources and the funds at their disposal, the state government, through the State Road Authority, the Public Works Department, is carrying out the maximum amount of work possible. And the future? Perhaps it will look something like this. Let's consider the words of the late Thomas H. MacDonald, formerly Commissioner of Public Roads in the United States of America. He said, "We were not a wealthy nation when we began to improve our highways, but the roads themselves helped us create a new wealth in business and industry and land values. So it was not our wealth that made our highways possible. Rather, it was our highways that made our wealth possible. Tasmania's wealth, the wealth of our factories and fields, depends on our system of highways, a system which already has passed over the threshold to a new era in road transport.